What do the clients see? What's their like, wow, this is what changed?
The CFO, he said, yes, this is the best thing I've ever seen. We need to use it.
Especially if you want to go to the next stage with AI,
Yeah.
there's,
Yeah.
there has to be a point where you can fully trust your data.
For many companies, it's not the CEO, CFO that are the C-level anymore. It's all of them who ask questions to finance.
What is the biggest bottleneck that you face when you try to implement an FP&A solution?
Welcome to Finance Espresso, the podcast where you get real talk on finance transformation in the time it takes to drink an espresso.
Welcome to Finance Espresso. I'm Ricard Ribatallada, CTO and Delivery Director at Propriety Group, and today I'm joined by
Bjørn, who is from Denmark, Copenhagen, and a consultant implementing CCH Tagetik.
Okay, fantastic.
I've got years of experience.
Years?
Yes.
How many?
With Tagetik, 14 years.
Yeah.
It's my 7th time here in Lucca.
Okay.
So
you're a veteran here.
I'm a veteran, yes.
Okay.
I even had made sure that my prior company had 4 different trophies because I've been a speaker here for many times.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you actually have experience with this. Cool. So I have some questions. I have 8 questions, and I try to remember that I have to ask the 8 of them, but who knows?
No,
who knows?
Let's go ahead.
So I'll start with them. Let's see how it goes,
Yep.
and we try to make it a conversation, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Question number 1. With the customers, what part of the workflow is still surprisingly manual in this year 2026?
Yeah. Good question, because it really depends on the maturity of a customer.
Yeah.
But everyone wants to automate as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to it, kind of maybe at a good pace, 60% starts to be automated, and then the last 40 is manual. Meaning
So 60 to 40.
60 to 40 to
Okay.
begin with. But during the process of an implementation, it normally gets better and better because they evolve and they also understand what to do in their transformation process. So it's just not implementing an EPM tool.
Mm.
It's also looking at their processes within their current way of working.
Mm.
So I've seen many times that during the implementation, they also tend to make more decisions about how to get the data from their ERP system into Tagetik.
It is, in my experience, when you start doing these requirements and also working, it's kind of they are rediscovering their business process sometimes.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's this temptation of trying to redefine it as you're building it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of hard.
Yeah, it is. But again, it's also the integration is something that you postpone. But it's kind of the really tough one because, and that's probably also why it gets postponed, because you want to build the dimensions, someone could get to know the system, but it's the data and the integration which is really the differentiator.
Yeah.
When you have an EPM tool, because if it's just manual entry, you could have kept Excel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think it's just not having a system that it's proven in their internal processes, but it's also all the processes around the EPM tool.
Yeah, I see. When you have a successful implementation, all of them are, by the way, all of
them, yes.
all of them.
On the paper, yes.
But what do the clients see? What's their like, wow, this is what changed?
The change is the discovery of the new processes within their new tool, that it's actually automated, but it's also more visualized to them what to do and when to do what. And I think the governance within the processes is also something which is an eye-opener, because that's where they see the dependencies within a month close or a year close, the dependencies on when the different stages at a close are done.
Okay, I see. So it's a bit of an exercise of discovery.
Yeah, it is. It is because some of them comes from Excel, comes from legacy systems which didn't have workflows, which didn't have proper integrations. So I think that the new setup, both with CCH Tagetik, where the integrations are more discovered and more open, it gets more easier for them actually to see the data, to actually reflect on it, and also to have a more clarity view from A to Z actually.
Yeah. Okay, so it's like you see the full process at
Yeah,
that point.
exactly. Yes,
Okay.
because it's kind of the legacy way of doing this as both FP&A controller, whatever you call it,
Yeah.
is that you tend to make sure that has you done your Excel sheet, has you delivered the
Yeah.
data,
Yeah.
you don't even know if it's correct because no one signs off. There's the versions of it. So it's
Okay.
kind of now it's more you need to follow a process.
Yes.
My my first implementation it took 7 years
Seven
before
years.
7 years before we utilized a proper workflow
Oh wow.
because
How did they
we were
manage?
early adopters.
Okay.
It was 15 years ago the
Okay.
implementation was done,
Hmm.
and at that time there was not a real workflow as we see in the modern APM tools. So it
No
was
AI, nothing.
no
It's
no,
you had to code
no
everything. Yeah.
AI or yes, and it was VBA coding, so everything was inside Excel.
Okay.
So that's why kind of a process was you had this form, this form, this form, this form,
Yeah.
and that was it.
Okay.
So now that the new tools are so modern, so up to date, so agile, and also I think it's the workflows are built into the system.
Yeah.
So
True.
it's
And
a
in the
need.
case of Tagetik, they have it
It is a
integrated.
need to. It's not
Yeah.
you have to do it.
Yeah.
So I think that's a game changer in utilizing the EPM
It
tools.
certainly has evolved a lot.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
when
yes,
I started when we were still doing most projects on prem,
yeah,
and I lived through the whole migration to the cloud services.
yes, me too. Yeah.
That for me was almost the beginning of my career.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay.
like I'm not still not following why it's happening, but it was like the evolution.
Yeah,
And then you look back and it's like, okay, it
yeah,
makes sense that it had to happen.
yeah. It had to happen. Yes. And I would say it's not just the evolution of where you have your systems, but it's also what the systems can,
Yeah.
and bringing in all the new uh, AI that does things for you, looks at your
I mean,
data.
I just think about like having Google Cloud or OneDrive. It's like it looks like it's been forever with
Yeah,
us,
yeah, yes.
but no, it's
Nope.
super recent
Yeah, it
actually.
is. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy. Okay, I have another one. What does a good month-end close look like in the real world?
Meeting deadlines.
Meeting
Yeah.
deadlines. Okay.
Meeting deadlines. I would say this is where these new processes, workflows, and tools are actually enhancing the possibility
Hmm.
to meeting deadlines because it's not manual anymore. So when it's
Yeah.
optimized, you click a button and then you validate your data.
Yeah.
And it's easier to act if something is not validated.
Mm.
Because earlier it could be that you had five or many steps to be dependent on.
Yeah.
Now these dependencies are moved further forth, and then getting the data and getting it ready for reporting and validation is much faster.
Oh, I see. I see. So it's all about that precision, about that validation at the end of the whole
Yeah, I'd say so.
process.
Yes,
Okay.
that's a game changer in these processes
Mm.
because kind of it. If you look at a year end where you have these more audited processes,
Yeah.
that becomes much easier to do on a monthly basis.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even though that it's larger companies, they can actually manage this because they have freed up time and they are actually documenting their processes, meaning that they have looked at AI, they reconciled all that the banks has been reconciled. That's
Mm.
something that is very valid for the reporting process.
Yeah. I see.
Before it's something you did after you have
Yeah.
reported. Now you do it before or just as you
Which is more efficient.
yeah, it is
Yeah.
definitely, and it's also something that the tools can deliver. It's part of the kind of the new setup.
Mm.
It's just not consolidation and reporting. It's reconciliation. It's all these other steps.
Okay. Yeah. Well. I mean, it's clearly evolving a lot. It's still. I like this third question. Where do forecasting processes still break down most often?
Yeah, being obsolete.
Being obsolete.
Being obsolete the day
Okay.
after they've been delivered, or
Okay.
even while you actually do it. So
Wow. Yeah. But
that's
it's true.
that's how
It's
I
true.
see it.
Yeah.
Uh, you don't really call it budget anymore. You don't call it rolling forecast. You actually call it more predictions or plans instead, because you know a plan will change.
Yeah.
If you call it a budget, it's kind of static, and it's always been 12 months rolling forecast, but that could be shorter or longer term.
Yeah.
So if you call it a plan, then it's something that can change very fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas strategy, that's kind of very long.
Yeah. It's long term.
Yes.
But
So
sorry, but I've seen, for example, since COVID, that the whole way you plan is different, because you can have something like COVID
yeah,
hit
yeah,
you, and all
exactly.
of a sudden that budget that you had, you can
No,
just
yeah,
throw it away.
and you also call it planning, right?
Yeah.
Because it is planning what we are doing, because we don't know what happens tomorrow.
Mm.
It's been COVID, then wars have popped up, change in presidency somewhere corrupts everything. So I think there's a lot of things that impacts how FP&A or finance are doing these plans,
Yeah.
the old versions of rolling forecasts.
It's a different way. You think there's more frequency? It moves faster.
Frequency, or you actually just say, now we just lock the plan.
Mm.
Could be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and then you have a target instead,
Okay.
because it's the kind of that target that has been taking over the way you do budget, and the targets are mainly based on KPIs.
Yeah. Do you see that there's like more of a tendency of, in the EPM world, to, instead of calling it budget or forecast, more like plan or scenario planning instead?
Plan, scenario planning, or target based?
Target based.
Yes,
Okay.
because target based is where you more have kind of a comparison.
Mm-hmm.
So you compare to last year, you compare to competitors, you compare to kind of a long-term strategy where you had some milestones with a strategy, and
Okay.
that's the targets you set.
I see.
So I think it's more agile, but again with some targets to meet.
Yeah, of course. No,
Yeah.
it cannot change.
No, because that's what management focuses.
Yeah.
Because a lot of companies, they tend to move this button, this button, this button, and then they look and say, what happened? And they don't know, because they changed too much and the world changed as
Yeah.
well.
It's difficult to manage that.
Exactly, yes. But I think that's where the new way of utilizing the EPM tools will also give more kind of insights to what happened,
Yeah.
because they can tell you also what happened.
Exactly.
So, and I think that'll be a game changer going forward.
I mean, certainly we're seeing lots of changes. Like, it's changing very quickly these days. In the
Yeah,
conferences, we were
yes,
seeing
yeah,
how AI has just.
yeah. It'll change, but I think also that AI will help organization to understand the changes. So it's just not looking forward;
Yeah.
it's also telling the story
Well, it's
going
analyzing the
backwards. It
history.
actually,
Yes.
yes, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that's what a predictable model is in the end.
yes, yeah. And I think that'll help them also to understand what did we do, what did we not do.
Yeah.
So because I think that's we are bringing more and more data into the plan also.
Yeah.
It's just not physical plans anymore.
Yeah.
It's kind of a P&L with more underneath. So it's the drivers, it's the business plans that are actually
That's true.
embedded now. So it's not the way we did budgets 10 years ago.
The FP&A is not enough. Every CFO asked for a driver-based
Yes, yeah,
model.
yeah. Yes, it is, and it's not only the CFO; it's also the COO,
Yeah.
CFPPO, or whatever we call them. It's all of them. It's all of the C level
Yeah.
that are actually questioning the numbers now, because I'd say for many companies, it's not the CEO, CFO that are the C level anymore. It's all of them who ask questions to finance.
It also, I think, EPM and FP&A, the way it's evolved with technology, it's made it more transparent. It's easier to access this information
Yeah.
and get to understanding the bigger picture as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, and the collaboration between those two,
Yeah.
because Historically, I'd say the financial side looked backwards, and FPI were looking forwards.
Yeah.
Through the numbers, the history.
I see.
And I think that it's kind of the understandable and the more accuracy and the transparency of the historical data helps the FP&A model. So I think that's one of the things that I changed.
I mean, certainly there's a lot of focus on making sure that your data is accurate.
Yeah,
Because
yes.
especially if you want to go to the next stage with AI,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
there's gonna be there has to be a point where you can fully trust your data.
Yes, but I think also some of the way we speak about the data readiness and that it's clean enough,
Yeah.
we await too much. We should actually try out. We should be curious and try it. And
How you mean?
yes, and because we need to clean the data. The outlayers has to be gone. We need to clean the history, which is not part of the company anymore.
Yeah.
Why just don't use it first, see
Yeah.
what it can do, and then question it. So I think actually we need to be more curious of actually trying out AI, trying out the machine learning.
I mean, certainly. I mean, ourselves, like in our company, we're just trying to look where
Yeah.
to apply it.
Yeah.
Because we immediately saw that there's a lot of activities where we can save time.
Yeah.
That was like immediate win, but then it's like, what else can it do?
Yeah.
And it's like you have another worker really with you.
Yeah, and I think that's the curiosity we need to actually train ourselves as finance people / IT people. Also, some of us has too many hats on.
Yes,
So-
it's the certainly the roles are kind of blending
Yeah,
at this point.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so last question on FP&A. What is the biggest bottleneck that you face when you try to implement an FP&A solution?
Change management.
Change management.
Yes,
Okay.
because I'd say most of the time you have at least half of the people, they're very curious, they are with you, they want to try something out, and the other half are the ones, no, we know what we have. So it's the change management also to understand why and what we can get out of the new things, the new way of working,
Yeah.
why we should disrupt something.
There's a certain resistance.
Yes, yeah. So I say that's many times it's also the post go live.
Yeah.
That is the biggest challenge. Is
Yes.
actually the change management around.
Is making sure they stick to the new process.
Yes. I heard in one of the sessions was that it actually came from the top, the CFO, he said, yes, this is the best thing I've ever seen. We need to use it.
Okay.
So and that's kind of this is the best thing for change management is that if the top level can speak it out.
Yeah, that enthusiasm.
Yes.
That
And
it needs to
back it
feel
up.
genuine.
Yes, exactly. Of course, it can come from bottom up also, but
Yeah.
that usually takes more resilience to get it implemented and understood.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
Well, thanks,
Thank you.
Bjørn. I think we're done.
Yes,
Thank you very
we
much.
are. And
And,
Chin Chin.